Hey there, Julie Hart here with Heart to Heart Canine, and today I have my helper, Indy. And Indy was living on the streets for about 2 years and we tracked her. She's doing fantastic, but she has one little quirk I'd like to solve, and often she will jump to get a treat. Indy, come, as you can see, right? And what I've been doing is to then guide her down like that. But what's happening is she's associating the whole pattern because she's a smart girl. So she thinks first she has to jump and then sit. And this can happen a lot with a lot of dogs inadvertently, and people get frustrated because the dog is jumping. And then they start to get upset at the dog or frustrated because they don't understand why the dog is still jumping on them. But it's because the dog thinks that all those behaviors are linked together to get the treat. So I'll show you how I'm going to work with Indy to change that. So what I'm going to do is I have a very high value treat, and I use food to train them to come when called. But what I'm going to do is, one, make sure I don't hold the treat up high. You can see if I hold it up high, she wants to jump up to see what it is. And two, I'm going to lure her into the position I want before she has a chance to jump up, and therefore I'm going to change the whole pattern. So here's an example. Indy, come. So here are the treats low. Good girl. Indy, come. And it doesn't matter if you want her to sit or not. She doesn't have to sit. I just don't want her to jump. Indy, come. So I could also do this. Good girl, yeah. Indy, come. Good, Indy. Indy, come. Good. So you can see just by changing the position of where I'm holding the food and rewarding her before she can jump, I'm changing the pattern. So if I make a mistake and forget, Indy, come, you can see she'll still do that, right? So then I want to be mindful of what I'm doing, because usually it's human error. When you're training dogs, they let you know if you messed up. Indy, come. Most dogs want to do what you're asking them to do. Indy, come, especially with salmon jerky. Good girl. Indy, come. Good. And I'm starting really, really easy. Indy, come. Right now. And I can teach her to sit. Sit. Good girl. So I don't want to start with her running across the yard to me to change this pattern. Indy, come. Good. Good girl. Indy, come. Yeah, good job, girl. Good job. Sit. Good girl. I like to break it up a little. I think they get bored doing the same thing over and over. Come. Good girl. Indy, come. Good. So you can see that I'm starting to build a new pattern where she doesn't jump to get the reward. With Indy, she loves praise, And so if she does make a mistake, I can just say, Good girl. Good girl. Indy, come. If I'm too excited, she's more likely to jump up. Indy, come. Yay, Indy. She's smart. So you have to watch your excitement level too. If you get the dogs too excited, they're more likely to jump. You can see she's having a good time, but she's not jumping, and she's not overly excited. Overexcitement usually leads to poor choices in humans and dogs. So we'll do this a few more times, and then that's the end of the session for the day. From now on, when I ask her to come, whether I have a treat or not, I want to make sure and bend down or praise her while her feet are still on the ground once she comes to me. Indy, come. Good girl. So if I didn't have a treat, it would look like this. Indy, come. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Indy, come. Good. Good job. Personally, I don't require my dogs to sit when they come to me. But again, if you wanted to do that, you could just lure her into a sit. Indy, come. And then eventually that will become the new pattern, that she'll come when she sits. Come and sits for the treat. Indy, come. Nope. Yes, good girl. Indy, come. Yes, good girl. Indy, come. Yes. So that's what it would look like if I want an automatic sit when she comes when called. Hope this helps out. And thanks, Indy, for being a great helper.